Welcome to Time for Hope, a ministry of Hope for Living Media Church and Bible Study Time Incorporated. Here's your pastor and host, Dr. Freda Crews.
Thank you for joining us on Time for Hope. I'm Dr. Freda Crews, your host, and I would like to welcome former social worker, pastor's wife, and Crew affiliate staff member, Dena Yohe, to join me as we discuss her book titled, You Are Not Alone, subtitled, Hope for Hurting Parents of Troubled Kids. Most parents would go to the ends of the earth for their children. So, if your teenager or young adult is in the midst of a crisis, including self-injury, mental illness, depression, addictions, bullying, or other destructive choices, you probably feel broken, powerless, and isolated. Dena wants you to know that you are not alone and that she has been where you are. Speaking from experience, Dena offers healthy ways to maintain your other relationships, suggestions for responding to friends who don't understand, and ideas for keeping up your emotional and spiritual well-being when your world feels as if it's crashing down. For more, stay with us. And Dena, it's great having you come and
Thank you, Dr. Freda.
share with me on Time for Hope. You've written a wonderful book, and I am sure we will find a much-needed book. I've passed out of the parenting of kids at home and have even gone through most of my grandkids. I even have some great grandchildren now, but it is still amazing the role that grandparents can play in the lives of their children's children and their and right up the line. But you went through having your child at home. And she was your third child, right?
She was the middle one of three.
Oh, she is the middle one. So that's where I kind of got a little bit confused in your book, that she fit in the middle instead of being the youngest.
Right.
Yes. And you, that's what this book is really focusing on, is like what you had to go through.
Right.
And I read in the end of it, I believe, where y'all have had a great relationship or
Yes.
during the last 10 years
Yes.
together.
Yes. We've been.
Is she married or
No, she's
at
still
home?
single.
She's still single? And does she live with, alone or with you? Or?
She's with us right now, working on her jewelry business. Trying to figure out her long-term career path, but we're very grateful that she's doing so much better and that we have had a really good relationship for quite some time. Yes.
That's the goodness of God, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
And that's really how you start your book. I was surprised at the way you started it, actually encouraging parents from the beginning and saying there's hope. There is hope. And you draw from your own experience and being able to give that out, don't you?
Yes, from a place of not having any hope when God brought us through our darkest days. Yes.
So, what would you count your darkest days and how you ended up without hope?
Yes, well, our daughter had always been a challenge from the time she was a little girl, but when she was 12, she cut herself for the first time. And this was over 18 years ago now. We had no idea what this was, what it meant, why she would do such a thing.
Where did she get the instrument?
She just found a piece of broken glass in her window that we didn't even know was there. And she didn't know anyone who did this at the time. She didn't know about it either. She said the thought literally came to her out of nowhere to hurt herself. It was after she and I had an encounter. She was in trouble for something. She was upset, and
So
later
she was punishing herself.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But I was so shocked. I didn't know what to do about this, and I did not want to believe that anything could really be wrong with my child other than just simply having a preteen temper tantrum. So we did not seek any kind of help for it. We didn't go any further into it. Basically, we even threatened her with the idea of counseling, that this was not a good thing to do, to hurt yourself, and that if you ever did that again, you'd have to see a counselor. Oh, it was a terrible thing to do, which we have asked her forgiveness for today. But it was the beginning of more troubles that led to eventually addiction with both alcohol and drugs, being diagnosed with mental health issues that she's still dealing with today. But those were the things that happened, and those brought her to even more very awful experiences of being raped and being hospitalized and in rehabs. So that's a little nutshell for you of the things that took us to those dark places.
You know, did this have anything to do, or was it ever blamed for this disorder that she was diagnosed with, having to do with sensory processing disorder, which even as a professional counselor, I had really never studied it or heard about it, or and I don't know, what all can go along with it.
Yes, it's definitely one of the underlying factors, because as our counselor explained to us, this causes a feeling of angst all the time. You're irritated, agitated, angry, don't know what's wrong, why you're just out of sorts, depressed. Some of it was tied in with the other mental health issues, but yes, that's definitely part of what actually she thought was normal. She didn't know that everyone didn't feel that way, so she couldn't even express to us what was going on in a way that we could understand that she needed help until she was much older.
So, did you? So you count that a very dark time.
Yes.
How old was she when? And you've already mentioned something about her when she became 12 years old. But how far back or how young was she when you noticed that she was different from your firstborn child?
Oh, maybe when she was a toddler. One incident is actually kind of humorous. She had asked for some candy before dinner, and we said, well, after dinner you can have a little bit. And then she suddenly disappeared before dinner. It got awfully quiet, and that's never a good sign. My husband went and found her in her room, in her closet, eating the candy, and she just turned around and asked him if he wanted some too. And at the time he shared that with me, we thought, uh-oh, what is this? So yes, from the time she was little, there were a lot of temper tantrums, a lot of little things that bothered her, like the tags in the back of her clothing, certain smells, certain textures of food, sounds, that we just thought she was difficult or stubborn because it didn't bother her brother or sister, and it seemed ridiculous to us, and we just didn't know that there was more going on.
Yeah, so it had to progress.
Yes.
I guess for you, you were kind of handling it at the time. Eventually, as she started all the other behaviors that you have mentioned, and that we'll be talking about, that other adolescents experience without this disorder also, they can experience the other things that she took you through without having that disorder, right?
Yes,
yes. I know for sure that's right, because
yes.
I had 3 children, and I've counseled many parents that had kids that were prodigals, as you have referred to them at times. And you also early on say that you have to reach a point of acceptance. Was that part of your coming out of the darkness and beginning to take hold of it, as it were, and get ready for the ride, buckling up and getting ready for the ride, so to speak?
That's a good way to put it. Yes, Dr. Freda, definitely. We were in denial for a long time. We just couldn't believe that anything really was wrong, or that she could have a problem with alcohol. Not at all. So yes, the first step was definitely coming to accept that there was a problem, and it really wasn't until things had become quite a bit more serious and she had become suicidal, and that was so frightening that we got her into a counselor as soon as we could. We had been living overseas at the time, and so we came back to the States to get this help for her. And that counselor was really the beginning of helping us open our eyes and accept the realities of what we were dealing with. And it was very, very difficult, a very long and hard process that the Lord had to help us with.
Well, I think we should mention that you and your husband are in ministry,
Yes.
and that he has been a pastor,
Yes.
and y'all have been missionaries. And was she with you? Yeah, she was with you when you were overseas.
Yes,
And,
with our other children. And I think that's what made it harder, Dr. Freda, because we thought if we just followed this formula, do all these right things, that we'd do A plus B and we would get C, this product of the perfect child, whatever that is. And so it was really hard for us to accept that sometimes that didn't work, that it was no guarantee of the outcome that you wanted. That really rattled us and turned our world upside down.
as well as your relationship with the Lord, because I know in your book you mentioned that you would cry out, "Why, Lord?
Yes.
Why, Lord?" And that's not unusual. Some Christians would be afraid to admit that they've had those questions, but we all have them at times. Why, Lord? And that's not a bad place to go out on. They're telling me it's time for a break, so that our viewers will hang in there and see what in the world our answer and your answer is going to be about, asking the Lord why. And we will be right back. Successfully navigating the teenage years can present parents with their greatest challenge. As I look back to those years with my own 3 children, I realized that what seemed an eternity then was actually a very short period of time. So the first thing I would say to parents of teenagers is to realize that it is a developmental stage that will pass quickly. So buckle up and try to relax and enjoy the ride. The second direction I would give is to remember that the most important thing is your relationship with them, and that the bond between you will be strong when they emerge as young adults. A third direction is to develop the awareness that your teenagers are passing through one of the most difficult stages of their development. The truth is, it is a difficult passage for both of you. They want to hold on to you, and at the same time, they want you to let them go and do what they need to do. Transition from a child into an adult. The fourth direction, then, is to go with the flow. Help them become the adults they want to become as a result of the values and aspirations you have instilled in them through instruction and example. As a fifth direction, I remind you that an indispensable dynamic in the relationship with your teens is communication. Learn to listen and go easy with the lectures. Allow them to share their thoughts and express their feelings, including anger. They need to learn to handle their anger with honesty and self-control. And you, the adult, must learn to control your own reactions in interacting with them. For the sixth direction, I challenge you to set firm, consistent, and age-related rules. Make sure your teen knows his or her limits and what to expect when these are ignored or challenged. This includes not being afraid to say no when it becomes necessary. My seventh direction is to pray for God's wisdom and guidance. We read in James, the 1st chapter and verse 5, "If any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, and it will be given him." Thanks for staying with us on Time for Hope. We're very happy to have you as one of our viewers today. And we're talking with Dena Yohe about her book, You Are Not Alone. And this book is directed to parents of troubled kids. And she has lots of encouragement, lots of experience insights that she shares in the book, and some great suggestions for accepting it, going with the flow of it, and then coming out at the end a better person. I can say that, can't I? A more informed person about raising kids, a more informed person about a relationship with the Lord as this is going on in your life. And she's enjoying her relationship with the daughter that presented the problems. Her name is Renee. During that Dena, I'm sorry, we had a Nina on staff for a while, that Dena is talking about in her book. You are not alone, parents, and she wants you to know that right off in our discussion. So I got that out. Now, this is something I got out of your book, that you said to yourself, and you encourage parents to think along these lines when it comes to accepting the fact that you don't have a perfect child. Most parents do believe that we can have perfect children, don't we?
We do. We think that if we do all the right things, the things that child psychologists are suggesting, that we'll get a certain outcome, but they have a free will. They get to choose, and we don't always get what we want.
Well, Proverbs says to us, train up a child in the way they should go. Have you ever thought about, or did you think about during this time, and when they are older, they will not depart? Didn't promise that there wouldn't be this time. In fact, as a professional counselor, I learned as you said, your daughter turning 12 is when it really seemed to erupt, that is a tough time for a child, girl or boy, to go through when they're transitioning, and those hormones are just flowing at that time as an adolescent, and when they're transitioning from a child and headed towards becoming an adult. So when you think about it, you would expect it to be tough if we would just give it some thought and so forth. But anyway, you said that you said to yourself, I can walk this path only one day at a time. And Dena, I wish that we could accept that about our life journey. I just put out a devotional to that effect, where the scriptures actually encourage us in that life needs to be taken one day at a time, but we seem to worry about the past, and I've had to tell many a client, you've got to let it go. You've got to let the past go, learn from it. In fact, I have a plaque at home that says, learn from the past, and breathe in the present, and hope for tomorrow, because we don't even know that there's going to be a tomorrow for us today, so to speak. But anyway, I can walk this path only one day at a time. It can't be rushed. Then I must not dwell on the past or regret it. We don't have to regret it, not even to let it go. And if it's hurt us, we certainly don't have to dwell on the hurt and the pain of the past. We can turn it loose, as it were. It can't be changed. I like that. I've said that before too. It can't be changed, so why are you worrying about it? What could you do since it can't be changed? It's done, whatever is done. So this has a lot to do with acceptance of things that happen in our lives. I must not live in fear or dread of the future. And I want to come back to that. It can't be controlled ahead of time, so to speak. So I saw in your book where you admitted that fear was one of the things that you had to deal with in this crisis situation with your daughter, Renee.
Fear is a big, big problem for hurting parents. Doesn't matter if your child's a teen or an adult, if you're dealing with issues that have a lot of possible dangers connected with it. Fear, it's our enemy. We can't sleep. I could hardly eat myself. I lost a lot of weight, nervous all the time. But I discovered something that really helped me with that. And there were two things. One was knowing that God was with me. And in His Word, Isaiah 41:10 was a verse that I just burned into my brain and wrote it on postcards, put it up on my wall. And it says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed. I am your God. I will help you. I will strengthen you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." And I hung on to that. But a practical strategy that I learned was something called a God box. And it's not original. I learned it in a recovery support group meeting. And it's to take a box, any size, get a little notepad with paper, and when you are aware of feeling nervous or anxious, fearful about something for your child, to write it down. And so I would write it on the paper, and then you fold it up, you put it in the box, put the lid on it, and put it away on a shelf or in a drawer. And it symbolizes surrendering and giving those fears to the Lord. And it's something very powerful about this process of, number one, recognizing when you are feeling fearful, identifying it by writing it down, and then putting it in that paper, giving it to God, and then just letting it go, putting it away. Now, letting it go, that's a long process too of learning to do that. But that really, really helped me cope with my fear.
Yes, I think you mentioned that, the God box also in your book. But here we're going to do 2 weeks. We can easily get 2 weeks out of this, and I'm sure our viewers want to hear all that and share. We don't share the whole book, and I want them always to understand that. We hit highlights. We take the highlights in the book. We want to encourage them while we're together, and then when they get the book, they'll receive more encouragement. But the truth that you're putting out in your book and throughout your book is to you parents and to the parents that are our viewers, you are not alone. You are not a bad parent. That's the first thing that happens to us when our children start going wrong, isn't it? We begin to think, well, where have I failed? Where? It has to be my fault. Where have I failed? And then you are going to be you're going to be okay with God's help and the Christian community. Now, they're telling me we're getting close to the end of this show for this week, if you can believe that. And we want to talk a lot about this community, because you're saying you're not alone. Well, who's with you? How come you're not alone? And so this community that you want to acquaint parents with and encourage them to build one for themselves and so forth. We're going to take that up first thing when we come back next week. That they don't have to be so ashamed and so forth that they don't share it with others. In fact, it can be very helpful to sit down with other parents that are going through the same thing, or counselors that know and have learned how parents can have a life in spite of what their kids are going through, and so on and so forth. So that's where we'll be going next week. In the meantime, I have some things to share from a couple of our viewers of Time for Hope. And the first one says, "Dear Dr. Freda, please pray for my family. My daughter is very irresponsible and has a 2-year-old son. She goes to a methadone clinic and left the methadone out where he could get into it. She also sleeps when she is supposed to be watching him and he is unsupervised in the home. This has been going on for a long time, and she has been through 3 rehab programs. Please pray for God to intervene in this situation, as I can't deal with it anymore, but I am concerned for my grandson, and this poor woman has every reason to be concerned about her daughter and her grandson, but it sounds like that they have already done some research regarding rehabs and trying to help her and so forth, and we don't know where that situation is at this time. Then I have a note of encouragement, which I always appreciate. Dear Dr. Freda, I am glad I found your show, Time for Hope. This is the first time that I saw it, and I really enjoyed it. I hope to see more of you, Dr. Freda, and as I say, I find that very encouraging. We encourage you to send your prayer requests to us. We have a great number of them that come in, and we have a worship service here on Monday morning, and we go to church on Sunday, but we have a worship service here on Monday morning. And and we take up every prayer request that has come into Time for Hope at that time. And there are a lot of hurting people in the world, and many of them do choose to share their hurt and pain with us. And we're encouraging you or giving you the opportunity to do that. And be assured, we take them to the Lord in prayer and try. Actually, I say I hand them over to God because most of them are far too big for us here. And so if you haven't sent in your prayer request, I encourage you to do so. Another thing I encourage you to do is to remember we do have expenses to carry this program throughout the world, and I would encourage you to help us if God encourages you to do so, and make sure you join us again next week on Time for Hope.
Thank you for watching Time for Hope, a ministry of Hope for Living Media Church and Bible Study Time Incorporated. We offer a free fact sheet with more information on today's topic. Call or write us to get your copy today. The resource we are offering this week is available for a donation of at least $5 to the Time for Hope ministry. Any additional donation you wish to send will be greatly appreciated. Call us at 800-669-9133. Write us at Post Office Box 2169, Spartanburg, South Carolina 29304. Or visit our website at timeforhope.org. As we continue to give out messages of hope, a financial gift of any amount to support the Time for Hope ministry will be greatly appreciated. When you send us a gift, you are joining in the ministry to which God has called us, and we greatly appreciate your teaming up with us in extending God's kingdom. We also encourage you to look for Dr. Freda's scriptural devotionals on our Time for Hope TV ministry Facebook page, joining with the many others who are already appreciating them. And to see this program again online or share it with a friend or family member, visit our website or search for the Time for Hope TV ministry on YouTube, iTunes, Roku, and Facebook. Also, Dr. Freda has taught on subjects such as grief and loss, marriage and prayer, which can be purchased in booklet form by calling us or visiting our website, timeforhope.org. Until next time, have a great week, and remember, it is time for hope.